Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cisco's Virtual Kitchen. My name is Lisa Evangelos, and I'm here with my dear friend, Jay Ashton. Say hello, Jay.
Hello.
We are back with another episode of Chefs in the Field with the Culinary Federation. We come on Cisco's Virtual Kitchen once a month, and we highlight our members, our chefs, our cooks, our culinary partners from across Canada, and today is no different. We're excited to be back in the studio here at Cisco headquarters in Edmonton. And the Culinary Federation is so much more than a professional association. I say this every time. We're more like a family, and today is no different. Our special guest that we'll introduce shortly is a member of the family. I guess if you stay up till 5 a.m. singing karaoke at a Culinary Federation conference, you're part of the family. We'll talk more about that shortly, but before we do, a quick video more about the Culinary Federation.
The Culinary Federation is so much more than a professional association. It's friendship. It's fun. And it's family. Come find where you fit in. Join the Culinary Federation family today.
I always like to do a quick plug. If you want to know more about the Culinary Federation and joining the family, you can go to culinaryfederation.ca. So today, friendship, family, fun is what we just talked about in that video, and all three things apply to our special guest. I'm very excited to introduce Chris Conzelmann from King Cole Duck. Welcome today to our show, Chris.
No, thank you very much for having us.
I'm excited to talk to you about all things duck today. So I'm just going to let you dive on in.
Sure. Okay. Well, I guess basically what I wanted to start off by saying was good farmers make good food. And let's be honest, the customers and chefs, they take it that one step further to making it great. Honestly, we live by these words in everything that we do. It's literally in our DNA. As you may know, or already know, my name is Chris Conzelmann, and I'm a fourth generation duck farmer. What I'm hoping to do today with you guys is showcase our agricultural business and farming philosophy, and hope to give you some insight into what we do here and honestly the reason why we do it. This year, King Cole Ducks, we're celebrating 72 years of serving duck to Canadians. We're family owned and operated, and if you haven't picked up on it yet, we're very proud of it. With the help of over 180 staff, we work together to breed, hatch, grow, process, and even cook duck for our customers in our own backyard and beyond our Canadian borders. The duck industry is a rather rare bird. Some would say it's unique to the poultry world because we're vertically integrated. When I'm trying to explain this to people who know nothing about us, I always tell them that think of us as an agricultural chain where each stage of the process links to the next one. We thought the best way to showcase what we do behind the scenes here at King Cole is to give you guys a sneak peek into the day in the life of a duck farmer. Keep in mind that we're very good duck farmers, but not nearly as good filmmakers. So bear with us through this, and I'm sure it's going to prompt some questions for you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joanne, and I work in the hatchery. Today, I'm going to take you to our tour to our facility. Every day, we receive eggs from our breeder farms, and they are color-coded. Our trays are color-coded according to their flock, and we wash them through here in our egg machine. It is like a washing machine, but it's temperature control. And what it does is it cleans our eggs and sanitizes them, and it kills bacteria. We are now here in our egg grading room. After our eggs has been washed, we put them in a controlled environment to 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit temperature, and we grade each and every one of them to check for imperfections. We check for cracks, we check for misshapen eggs, and we also check for their air packets. After we chose the best of the best, we put them in our trays, and they're ready to send to our incubators. Now let's go see how it looks like in the incubator room. After our eggs has been graded, we put our trays in the incubator. Our incubators are humidity and temperature controlled, as well as they have alarms in case anything has ever happened. Our incubators also rotate every hour to simulate the mother hen in the wild that moves their eggs around. After 25 days, our eggs are almost ready to be hatched. And this is our final stop. Unfortunately, we don't have a hatch happening today, but this is our hatcher where our eggs from the incubator are put in for their final 3 to 5 days before they are hatched. Every day we can hatch up to 25,000 duck babies. Thank you for following along. This concludes our hatchery tour. Now we're going inside the barn with Dr. Fisher.
Hello, my name is Dr. Kelly Fisher, and I am the company veterinarian for King Cole Ducks and a fourth generation duck farmer. I am a part of the live production team that oversees and manages all the grower and breeder birds at our facilities here. King Cole is the only producer in North America to have a third-party animal welfare certification. I'd like to welcome you to one of our breeder facilities here. Enough standing outside, let's go have a peek in the barn.
To get to this point, I had to pass a Danish entry. This is a physical barrier that separates the dirty area from the clean area in the entranceway. Once I've passed onto this clean area, I can get into what we call personal protective equipment. That includes hairnet, gloves, coveralls, and clean boots. Why do we do all of this? Well, as some of you may be aware, the poultry industry has been devastated by avian influenza over the past year and a half. We have implemented strict biosecurity measures to protect our flocks as best as possible. You may notice this blinking machine behind me. This is the brain of the barn, and this allows us to control our feed, light, air, and water throughout the facility. Come on into the barn and check out the birds. Okay, so as you can see, this is the typical setup of one of our breeder facilities. So our birds are 100% free range, which means they have the ability to move throughout the barn wherever they would like. At all times, our birds have free access to feed and water at all times. We have a designated team that comes in and handpicks 10,000 eggs per day, and those get transported to our hatchery for incubation. Our barn manager comes in and looks at the flaws, and that is the feed, light, air, water, space, and shavings. All of our staff is trained in humane handling, and we ensure that our birds are being raised in the most humane standards. Speaking of, our team is coming here to rebed down the barn again, so let's get out of their way.
That's it. That was amazing. Okay, can you just confirm for me if I heard correctly? Did I hear Joanne in the hatchery saying hatching up to how many a day?
Yeah, we can hatch up to 25,000 ducklings.
And then did they say coming and picking out 10,000 eggs a day?
Yeah, so we're currently doing about 10,000 eggs a day. And you saw in that one scene where Dr. Kelly was standing, all the wooden nest boxes. So the team comes in, and it's typically a team of four or five people, and they pick all 10,000 eggs by hand, which is extremely old school. It's the way my great grandfather and grandfather started doing it. But honestly, we know it creates good product.
Well, the ducks just look very happy and healthy there, which I always enjoy to see. I just find this so educational for people who, never get to see where their food comes from like that. My kids, I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, and because my husband's a chef and we work with local vendors in various ways, I feel like they get a really different insight to where their food comes from, but the general population really has no idea. So you were saying that you guys aren't videographers, but that was a great video. Whoever put that together, if it was you, Chris, really well done.
Well, we stumbled through it, that's for sure.
No, it was very, what a great look into King Cole ducks. And I love that everybody starts their bit off with how long they've been a farmer, fourth generation farmer, you and the veterinarian there. Really, really cool. I can see that the history is very important to you. The fact that you come from a long line of duck farmers. Really cool.
And it's a theme that will continue on. That's for sure.
I bet. Okay, well, we're going to take just a quick moment. You're out here on the patio, and I believe you have some cooking in store, but we're going to take a little break for a commercial and we'll be right back.
It's not about turning on the lights, starting the grill, and prepping the food. You put on an apron, flip the open sign, and ready for the day. Regulars sit at the same spot and tell stories that bring smiles. Some days can be chaos, challenging. You persevere because you have an undaunted passion, a calling to make people feel welcome and warm. Guests come and go, some you may never see again. The restaurant business is heaven and hell. It's laughter and tears, forever changing and extremely challenging. When the day is done, feeling exhausted, yet somehow content, you smile, knowing tomorrow you get to do it all again. And you wouldn't change a thing.
Okay, we're back. And you've moved from the inside to the outside. Where are you now on the King Cole Duck grounds?
So I'm actually at our main office. It's a facility here that we've got a pretty. This becomes my Friday afternoon office quite often, sitting outside, especially when it's nice. And it's Friday fun day. But yeah, so we're just enjoying the nice weather that's finally come around, and so we're on our main farm right now.
Very cool. And what's happening behind you? Tell me about it.
So we fired up a spiedini grill, a little charcoal spiedini grill, because it's springtime and we can. And I'm going to cook up some duck spiedinis as a little bit of fun food.
And who's getting to eat this food after? Because Jay and I are too far away to partake.
I was going to say, if you guys weren't so far away, you guys had the invite for sure. But I think that there's a team of hungry people upstairs that would be happy to help me out with it, if there's any leftovers.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad. Back in the day, another partnership that we had with King Cole Ducks and the Culinary Federation was the Duck You're It promotion. And I don't know if you remember, but chefs from the Culinary Federation could sign up to receive this amazing package from King Cole Ducks and then cook the duck in whatever way they see fit, post it to social media. And so my husband, Jared, is a chef and a member of the Culinary Federation, and he received one of these. I still have my King Cole Ducks cooler. And he won.
Serious?
Yeah, he was one of the winners. And so
I was just about to say.
Yeah, and I've partaken in King Cole Duck's product, and so I'm jealous that I won't get to today, but happy for the people you're cooking for.
No, absolutely. Well, with that was a perfect example of us for a fun way to reach out to everybody during the pandemic, and really what we try and do is showcase that duck is also fun food. It goes on so many different menus in a lot of different ways. So we do everything from smoked duck breasts, pre-cooked products to spiedinis, and it's not just your typical duck l'orange or pan-seared duck breast French cuisine style that everybody thinks of, right? So that all fits into that.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think that there is, just before you put those on the grill, or if you want to do it while we're watching, there's a second half of some more footage of the farm. So let's go to that now.
Welcome to Establishment 255, King Cole's federally inspected processing plant. Here we are hatchery certified and have global food safety accreditation. My name is Ben Thompson. I am the plant manager here at King Cole and also a fourth generation duck farmer. Here in the plant, we do around 8,000 birds a day, which equates to 2.4 million birds annually. One of the things that makes our processing very unique and different than other poultry is our hands-on approach. Behind me, you can see our cut-up line where every single bird is touched by a knife by an individual. That allows us to have better control over the product throughout the process. Another example of this, as you can see to my left, is our breast trimming. We have an employee who inspects every single duck breast to ensure that it is the standard that our customer requires. From here, our duck breast will be shipped in our own backyard as well as around the world. We have a wide array of products from raw whole bird to parts and pieces. A good portion of our product is shipped to our very own product development center and cooking facility, King Cole Kitchens. Go check it out.
King Cole Kitchens, the final and most delicious stage in our operation. I am Chris Conzelmann, General Manager of King Cole's Cook Plant and Product Development Center. I'm also a fourth generation duck farmer, so like the rest of our family and staff, I have an in-depth knowledge of every stage of our process and a personal commitment to giving you the best from our farm-to-fork experience. At King Cole Kitchens, we proudly cook duck products, but don't stop at one species. We also custom create products for food partners who serve everything from pork belly to pork ribs to chicken, beef, lamb, and turkey. Today, however, I'd like to take you through our further processing steps. Our goal is to give you a helping hand in your kitchens by taking duck one step closer to the final plate. We have tumbling, grilling, searing, smoking, roasting, and sous vide capabilities. Our most popular product remains our smoked duck breast. It's tumbled in a custom cured and smoked natural hardwood wood chips. Additional products we produce here are pulled duck, confit duck legs, and roasted half duck, and that just names a few. Our focus is natural, clean label products that can be used by chefs in a variety of dishes from breakfast, apps, center of plate. We listen, we want feedback, and we want to make products that make your life smoother, more productive, cost-effective, and of course, delicious. Thank you.
By now, you guys have seen a lot of our farm, but I did want to take quick stop here at our feather plant just to touch on our sustainability and limited waste practices. Behind me, the guys are washing and drying our feathers for things like down duvets, pillows, coats, vests. We also have a composting facility where we take all of our manure from our barns, put it into windrows, and compost that to a point where we can blend it into soils or use it as garden fertilizer. One of the other points I wanted to make was that we reuse 95% of our water, all the way from picking eggs in the barn and that little bit of waste that we have there up to the processing plant where we do use a lot of water. 95% of that is captured and reused through recycling ponds. Again, this all fits into another point that us here at King Cole Family are super proud of. Now back to you guys, live in the studio.
Okay, I love that. Well done. Again, that was so fun and so insightful. I wanted to just throw out another plug here that the Culinary Federation Conference is having its 60th annual in June in Niagara Falls this year, and King Cole Ducks will be there with us in attendance. I know that you'll probably be there, and we'll have some fun together, but also your product will be on display in multiple ways. So if you're thinking about attending and joining us in Niagara Falls in June, please do, because we'd love to have them come in and be able to partake in some duck. How's the spiedini going behind you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much finished. So
you're quite the multitasker, aren't you?
Yeah, we have to be. And like I said, we've been picking eggs since, we've been picking eggs for about 33 years. So there's always a lot that happens all at one time. So
I love that. A little bit, more about King Cole Ducks. We were talking earlier about uncovering some duck myths. So was that more about the traditional dishes versus the more creative ways to use duck, or are there other duck myths that you'd like to myth bust today?
I'm glad you brought it up, because honestly, it's one of those things. Honestly, it's about education. Is more from our side. We're seeing duck across the board as different, but not weird different. So it's popping up on a lot of menus. Things like, typically here when you're talking to the general public, that duck's fatty and greasy, and or tough, or gamey, and things like that. And as chefs, it's the first thing we hear out of every chef's voice, every chef every time we talk to them. Actually, sorry, marbles in my mouth there. Is that they love duck, but it's the customers that don't quite understand it yet. They just don't know they love it. So for us, we always want to spend a little bit of time and teach people that duck isn't fatty if it's cooked properly and you're rendering out that fat and getting that crispy skin. The other thing is that it doesn't have any marbling throughout the protein, so it's not like a beef. So you have to cook it to a medium rare, otherwise it will get tough because it doesn't have that fat to pull from through the protein. It's things like that. And like I said, when I say honestly educating, if somebody comes back and, sorry, I'll pull these off now because we're talking about not overcooking.
Yeah. Well done.
But yeah, it's talking about, and if somebody does take the chance and tries duck at home, they don't understand that it isn't the same as chicken and turkey. So for us, we've been spending our last, honestly, 72 years educating people that medium rare is the name of the game, and don't be afraid of it just because it is a little bit different, right?
That's very important. Thank you for sharing that. I agree. Most people are probably more scared to cook duck in their home than necessarily have it at a restaurant because they're putting it in someone else's hands to prepare at a restaurant. But cooking duck at home doesn't have to be like just for fancy meals. It can be for an everyday experience.
That's what we're working on with things like duck awesome. Wings and smoked duck breast.
Okay, so you've mentioned a few times that King Cole Ducks has been around for 72 years. Tell me there's something spectacular planned for 75.
Well, we We certainly have. There's always stuff happening on the plant. So to be honest with you, we've had as everybody has had a couple of years that have been a little bit crazy. Last year we had a little bit of a setback, but so we're just happy to be up and running right now. But I think by 75 years we certainly will throw some sort of big party.
Okay, well, Jay and I will need an invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please and thank you. We want to come and celebrate 75 years with you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then just, we're coming to the end of our time today, but what lies ahead for the duck market? Like fun food, trendy pubs, cafes? Like what do you see for the future?
So to be honest with you, again, kind of what I've touched on is the duck becoming more popular on menus across the board. It's things like from breakfast menus all the way from pubs, breakfast menus, and still stay on those fancy menus as well. But things like eggs Benedict with duck slivered underneath of it, and realistically, honestly, just showcasing the product that so people really can understand how delicious it really is, right?
Yes. Awesome. Okay, well, this has been wonderful. It's great to hang out with you again. I referenced our last time together. We sang karaoke until the wee hours in the morning. So I have an expectation to do the same when I see you in Niagara Falls in June. But till then, thank you so much for being a part of the Culinary Federation Chefs in the Field as one of our partners, King Cole Ducks. And thank you, as always, to Jay Ashton and Cisco for hosting us on Cisco's Virtual Kitchen. We have another episode coming up next week as part of our Nordic mini-series. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you soon here on SVK.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here, Chris.